President Trump continuing to make headlines, once again issuing this statement, quote, based on their interviews, talking about Dr. Fauci and Dr. Burks. The president says, based on their interviews, I felt it was time to speak up about Dr. Fauci and Dr. Burks to self-promoters trying to reinvent history to cover for their bad instincts and faulty recommendations, which I fortunately almost always overturned. They had bad policy decisions that would have left our country open to China and others, closed to reopening our economy, and years away from an approved vaccine, putting millions of lives at risk. Obviously slamming them both there, not only them, but other disease as experts as well, accusing them of trying to again reinvent history while talking about their roles in the pandemic during TV interviews. With us now, David Bossie, president of Citizens United and President Trump's former deputy campaign manager. David, great to see you. He says they're self-promoters. What do you think?
I think the president's right on target with this statement. You know, Dr. Burks and Dr. Fauci are fighting for relevancy. The American people have seen them for being wrong on virtually everything. And what they do is they go on TV to try and make it about themselves and how they're the heroes. And that's not what people in those positions should be doing. They were wrong on masks at the beginning. They were wrong on China. They were wrong on closing down America's businesses, and they were wrong on closing schools. They have been wrong on every major policy initiative that has stemmed from COVID. And let's just go back to masks for a second. The first, Dr. Fauci was well known on television saying, we don't need masks for many weeks and months. And now all of a sudden he changes to masks are mandated. Then we got to close down businesses. Then we have to say, you have to wear two masks. One mask isn't enough. You have to wear two masks. This is one of the reasons why the president puts out a statement like this, is to make sure that these bureaucrats who are trying desperately to cling to the relevancy that they really are losing that luster. I think that he wants to make sure the record is very, very clear that if it wasn't for him, 90% of Americans wouldn't be eligible for the vaccine, of American adults wouldn't be eligible for the vaccine before April 19th. Thank you, President Trump. Had nothing to do with Joe Biden or anyone else. And look, getting 200 million vaccines in arms, thank you, Operation Warp Speed, and thank you, President Trump and Vice President Pence. Those are the people who made this happen. Joe Biden is the beneficiary of what Donald Trump and his administration has done. No more, no less. I know they want to take all the credit and say they were, given a disaster. No, they were given a vaccine. They were given a vaccine that was already being distributed. And look, their incompetence is covered by the fact that the American people feel very good about getting the vaccine. That is the responsibility of President Trump.
You know, during President Biden's speech yesterday, he's asking governors to reinstate mask mandates where they have been lifted. One, do you think they're going to do it, like Governor Abbott perhaps? Or, and the other thing, too, is he used words like impending doom. Is that helpful?
Well, certainly not. And I can just speak from the record that I've seen. Governor Abbott removed the mask mandate, and every day for the last 2 to 3 weeks, I believe, the numbers of COVID cases after the mask mandate was lifted have gone down in Texas. There's no way that any governor who wants to get reelected is going to go back to these draconian measures that don't have the backing of science. And that's what these left-wing, really out there folks are demanding. Must follow the science, must follow science. And then as soon as the science doesn't match up with their ideology, their left-wing ideology, they say, oh, no, we have to go back to masks because it's the right thing. No governor should do that. And look, you look at Kristi Noem as an example, never had a mask mandate. And she leads her state by, just an incredible position of strength and leadership there. Ron DeSantis got rid of most of it early on in Florida, or as early as he could. And Florida is now thriving. People are leaving all over the country from California and New York to go to Florida. So some of these governors are doing a tremendous job, and they're doing the exact opposite of what Fauci and Biden are demanding that the American people succumb to. It's ridiculous.
Talk to me about the vaccine passports. There seems to be growing concern, not just among Republican politicians, but, as I hear the general scuttlebutt in general, a lot of, friends, colleagues, there's a lot of talk about this. And what does this really mean? Because the concern is it could kind of force people to take the vaccine because maybe they can't get anywhere if they don't.
Yeah, this is a dangerous, slippery slope for America. We don't have papers that people must carry on them to show proof of anything in this country. We have freedom and we have liberty. We have the Constitution. And I would believe that if the government, the federal government, tries to mandate this, you will see states' attorneys general band together to sue the federal government immediately to stay that order and then fight it and win it in court, all the way to the United States Supreme Court. We don't have police officers say papers, please. It's just, it brings back the notion of very dark times in the world. And we don't ever want to go there. People should be able to get the vaccine. Okay. I've already had COVID and I will get, my shot when my time comes, when it's eligible for me to receive it. I will go get it. I have no problem doing that. I think it's a proper and the right thing to do. But people should be able to choose whether they get it or not and when they get it. I didn't want to get COVID, but I did. And I got a mild case, thankfully, and I was able to recover in a month or so. But not everybody has that same luck. We take this is a very serious disease, and it is. And people need to take it seriously. And I'm not trying to say people shouldn't get vaccinated. But to jump from people should get vaccinated and we should enthusiastically try to get people to get vaccinated is different than your papers, please. That we are crossing a Rubicon that I never thought we would be discussing here in America. When Donald Trump said during the campaign, I will never let America become a socialist nation. This is what he was talking about.
Certainly all eyes on this, definitely a lot of scuttlebutt on this, and a lot of people will be debating this certainly in the days to come. Thank you, David Bossie, president of Citizens United. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me.